Hey people, this ain't no clickbait title. I'm fixing to take you from beginner to master magician. This is going to be more information than you can get in all the books in the world on the subject. I'm going to show you the connection between meditation and the world and magic. I'm going to show you how the math of the world connects to this magic. And I'm going to show you why they lie about everything. So what you're looking at here is a master magician on the left, and you're looking at yourself on the right. All the pieces are there. You just got to learn how to put them all in the right place. Some magicians, they can get one side of the cube done, and if you put it up on the shelf beside some books, from the right angle, it might look like it's a complete cube. And if you can get one side done and the band around the top of it right, then you got all those in the right place, and you got enough sync to make some things happen. So if y'all can suffer through some of my stories, I'm going to tell you how I come about this information, and I'm going to show you why you have to believe in the God of the all in order for this to work. So this is some beginning magic that you can profit off of. It's called dowsing. I've seen it. It's a fact. I ain't no hocus pocus. And I got some proof that it's been going on for maybe 38,000 years or maybe millions. Who knows? So this works on the same principle as deep meditation or astral projection. And what you're doing is you're quieting your what you call your conscious mind down, and so you can listen to your subconscious, is what you would call it. There's many different ways to do this and many tools. I got a cousin who profited. He bought a piece of land real cheap up in Quebec, and they told him there's no water on it, and he cut him a willow branch. He's a Frenchman. He used that one on the left there, and cut him a willow at a certain measurements of 2-foot branch and 1 foot at the fork and 1 foot at the spread. He walked the property over, come back and took a 120-foot stick of pipe and stuck in the ground. He's got the tastiest water, and he dug a big beautiful pond right beside it. I haven't been there in 40 years since I was a kid, but this is the way I remember it looking. It's got all this beautiful white birch growing around it, and same old pump, little hand pump sitting beside it there. Then about 8 years later, I watched my brother do the same thing, looking for a water line. It was put in 30 years before he was born, and he used the metal rod type, and he walked it and laid 3 markers out and come back and dug and come straight down on the pipe. It works. It's a fact, and it can be used to find any life on Earth. And what they considered life was back then was pretty much all of Earth. Everything on Earth has life in it, the rocks and all. What doesn't have life in it is man-made polymers. You can't find a styrofoam cup with it. You can't find the New Age polymers. Wool is a polymer, but it's not man-made. So like I said in earlier videos, everything on Earth is all made of the same substance, and it's just the frequencies inside of it that makes it different. And everything has this frequency, and you can see it in the plants. These German here, they created a camera that could actually see it. They could see the frequency. They could see the aura with this camera. So all the ancient people knew this, and your handlers today know this, and they use it, and that's why they don't want you to know, because everything's connected. It's all everything on Earth's connected. We're connected to all the stars above. They're all talking to each other. but we just don't hear it. We stuck in this worldly thought. Our worldly mind has got us off. We're not connecting with everything else on our planet. So where do I get that 38,000 year number from? You know, that's the one I got from the scholars, so we could throw that away too. But they did say that these tombs where they found this tablet in hadn't been open in 38,000 years. And this tablet was a polymer. It wasn't natural. It was a polymer that can't be burned, indestructible. And Thoth knew all about this dowsing, and he created this out of a man-made polymer, so it couldn't be found by the dowsers. So I seldom use my information from the scholars, because some of them are just lying to you, and some of them just can't figure it out. They're just glad to be making that money. They told me in the 3rd grade that our language come from the Phoenician language, but it was too far gone and they couldn't get it. And I didn't believe it. And all these scholars, they work on working backwards, trying to get it together, and they're not getting through the big lie. But I went the other direction. I started from the beginning when the man was drawing pictures, and I worked forward, and I believe I got a more accurate reading on this. We'll get back on the subject in a minute, but I want to show you this. You can see there's Hebrew block style letters underneath these big letters on the top. It looked like they're trying to show you how to read this new language if you didn't know when you found this tablet. So this is reading from the right to the left, like the Hebrew. And you look at the top, that's the DB. And it looks like the 2 pyramids sitting there. And that's the same thing you find beginning all the lines in the Bible when it says, and he said. And they're misinterpreting this tablet too. The story they got is a crock. But you can see this says the DBRX. Through the house of Ra, the plants. Through in the beginning plants. And then on the next, right behind it, that's the R side. You see, it looks like the same letter, but it's got another leg on there. And the way I come up with that was by the process of elimination. I went through here and I eliminated all the other letters, and I found this writing on Google. I found some of it, and I eliminated the rest. But that Psi, when I found it in the Iliad, I found that it was replaced with the Hebrew letters of the Kaf Shin. That E up there, that should be an S. And so that's come after the fire. So that's saying through the house of the RX, or through the house of the royal plants, dot, and then the first to come after the fires, dot. And then underneath there you see the charms. That's the Chet, Ra, and M, the charm, to divide the first waters. And then the TLT. And you know this is it because you can look underneath and see those Hebrew block style letters underneath there. And so that tells me that either that Hebrew block style letter is older than this, and being that they don't have this Psi in the Bible, that means the Bible would be older than this. That would put it at older 38,000 years. So we can throw all their times off because they really don't know what the hell they're doing. But we'll get back to the subject here. But you can see this is part of the Bible. This is part of the Bible codes. So I never had this Magick. I never believed the Bible. I knew it was a crock. And so I figured that God was a crock too. What I did have was access to a welding shop and a machine shop all my life. And I've been inventing since I was a kid. Always inventing easier ways to do things. I went to work on a construction site when I was real small, and I couldn't do what the 250-pound guys were doing, so I was constantly inventing tools to make my job easier. And as I got older, I found that I could do a 5-man's job with some tools that I invented, and I run my own company and I make all the money. So I could never profit off the patent on the tools that I was making, because once somebody in the construction business seen how it was made and used, they could build it themselves. So in my early 30s, I got to thinking I should start inventing tools to help more everyday people find a need that everybody would have, and invent a tool, and I could profit more off of that. And I started coming up with several things on to help teach kids how to play musical instruments with the computer, and new sources of power, and things that could help everybody. But it seemed like within a month or 6 after I would come up with something, I would see it on TV. Somebody else had the same idea. And that's when I figured out that our knowledge is all connected. It's all one big worldwide connection. And if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it. And if I was going to stay in this business, I'd have to wear a tinfoil hat to keep somebody from stealing my thoughts. Then I thought, that wouldn't work, because maybe I was in somebody else's thoughts and I wouldn't be able to connect. So that's when I started studying the brain and this God that we're all connected to. So your best teachers in life, they're not going to tell you the answer. They're going to give you a clue, but if you bought a new Rubik's Cube and messed it up, and you played with it for an hour and you couldn't get it, and so you decide to go get a book and read the book on it so you'll learn how to fix it, you'll never learn. Once you've read that book, then you've lost the chance to train your brain how to do it. You'll never be able to get that. If you want to help educate your kids, get them a trigonometry book and rip the covers off of it. And it usually has the formulas there in the covers. And rip them out. And let your kids figure out how to figure a formula. And then they'll never forget it. And they'll understand it better. You got a lot of people graduating that read the formulas and passed the class and never understand what the hell they're doing. Alright, so let's learn how to dowse so you can start profiting off of Magick. So what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious what you're looking for. You've got to communicate that to your subconscious. And the more you meditate, the better you get at communicating with your subconscious. Every substance and every shape is putting out its own frequency. And if you can let your subconscious know what it's looking for, that frequency is connected to the all. And your subconscious is connected to the all. And your subconscious can find it. And all you have to do is put your conscious mind to sleep and let your subconscious find it. So the first thing you do is unplug the TV. It ain't nothing but a dumb box. And then start your regimen of Sungazing. And that's easy if you're on the East Coast and West Coast. If you're in the woods or in the middle of the country, you're going to have to get on top of a tall building or up on top of a mountain. You've got to be looking down toward the horizon. If you have to look up to see a horizon, you don't want to try Sungazing. But just go to the beach on the East Coast and get there before the sun rises. Get barefooted. Go walk in the sand, and when that sun starts coming up, go ahead and stare right into it just as long as you can. It might not be but 4 seconds the first day you try it. And within a month you'll be able to stare it down. You'll be able to stare it down for 15 minutes. And sun gives knowledge, believe it or not. It gives energy. You'll find you're eating less. You do the cyclic breathing meditation, and you can find out you can almost cut out all food and water and take energy in through air and sun. Believe it. I've seen it. I've done it. It works. Learn to breathe. Use some guided meditations that teach you how to breathe. In your nose, out your mouth. If you have too much on your mind and you can't clear your mind, this is how you do it with breathing. Just whatever comes to your mind, whatever's bothering you, just think about it and turn it into a feeling. Think about what it is and exactly how it makes you feel. And then breathe clean white air in your nose and just exhale that feeling. Once you got it all in that box, you know exactly how it makes you feel, you got it boxed up, go ahead and exhale it. Something else comes in your mind, don't try to push it away. Just keep on breathing. Think about how it makes you feel. And once you got it boxed up in a feeling, exhale it, get rid of it. It's dirty air, just blow it on out. Listen to binaural beats meditations with 3D sound. I like to listen to Paul Santese. He's got many different ones. Find the one that works for you. One of them's got to do it. A good way, if you're really having problems clearing your mind, is concentrating on that breathing and do a different pattern. Go in your nose, out your mouth, in your mouth, out your mouth, in your mouth, out your nose, in your nose, out your nose, in your nose, out your mouth. And what you're doing is you're getting your conscious brain taking care of things that your subconscious usually does. And what it does is giving your subconscious a break to go ahead and take care of things that it's really better at doing than your conscious mind is. So when you get your mind totally cleared, you're gonna find yourself, you're gonna think you're inside of a whale and listening to him breathe. And you're gonna be sitting there beside this consciousness of the all. And you're gonna have a conversation with it. And don't get greedy. Just take what you can get, and you'll stay there longer. If you try to get greedy, try to get too much, your mind gets too active, and you'll come out of it too quick. Just take what the God gives you, and be thankful. And it's time to go and come back next time. Get off the fluoride, get the aluminum out of your antiperspirant. It clogs up your pineal gland. That pineal gland is the big radio antenna in your head. It's an eyeball. It's just like your eyeball, except it doesn't have a lens in it, and it sees gamma rays. That's why it's protected inside your head. A gamma ray gets stopped by an 8-foot thick concrete wall. Start eating right. You can see the health foods here. You can see by the energies they put out, and you can see what's not healthy. Look at the energy that comes out of one ginseng leaf compared to what comes out of a 8-ounce red steak. Wean yourself off the red meat. It's going to be a lot easier when you start sungazing. You're going to find it it's going to help your cravings. Get off the red meat and pork, cut down, and fish is the best. Fish and chicken and all your vegetables. Try to get off all your store-bought vegetables and get something out of your own field. Get all the chemicals out of your diet. It took me about 2 weeks meditating twice a day before I was able to clear my mind and meet the all. And it took about a month before I was able to astral project the first time. And that's meditating 45 minutes to about 2 hours twice a day. So some people will be able to astral project and they'll be able to dowse tomorrow, the first try. And some people it might take a year. But let's get on into this magic and see exactly how to do it. The easiest way is with the metal rods, and they're bent at a 90-degree angle. Put it in a smaller tube, and what you're doing is you're carrying these rods straight out in front of you, and you're taking your conscious mind and you're trying to put all your conscious mind on nothing but balancing those rods out in front of you. And you're going to walk and let your body know, let your subconscious know what you're looking for. And there's different ways to do that. Some people say put a sample in your right hand, and you see cable men do it that way. And some people say to do it like you perform magic. Tell the spirit what you're looking for. Tell him 3 times out loud. I'm looking for gold. I'm looking for gold. I'm looking for gold. And then you just walk and put your conscious mind on holding those 2 rods out straight and balanced. And you just concentrate on that and walk. And your subconscious is going to be able to control your body. If you're just concentrating on nothing but balancing them, your subconscious is connected with the all, that electrical force, and it knows where everything in the world is. And when you walk over it, it's going to give you just enough motor control to move your arm and make those cross. And it works. They've been doing it for a long time. People get paid big money to do it. That was the highest paid man on the mining crew, the one that showed them where to dig so they didn't waste their time digging in the wrong place. So everybody start working on your Rubik's Cube. Start putting pieces together, and find out, this is why they're hiding all this, because everybody can do it, and if we could all do it, we'd find out that their money's totally worthless. If we took all their money and threw it all in a sinkhole in Florida, there wouldn't be any less food on the world. There wouldn't be anybody hungry because all the money was gone. In fact, we'd have all those people that go to a job every morning just to guard money. Oh, they would have more free time to plant a garden. There would be more food on earth. The money is the problem. The greed is what keeps you from meeting God. Good day, folks. God is love, light, and knowledge.